Hi, my name is Michael Hammons. I'm the Chief Executive Officer for a company called Vigilistics that's headquartered in Mission Viejo, California. Vigilistics is a software company that designs applications for the process industry, primarily beverage processing, food processing, and chemical processing. Myself, I'm obviously a Cal Poly alum. I graduated with an industrial engineering degree. I also have a master's degree from Harvard Business School and have worked for companies like 3M, Ernst & Young Consulting, Nexient, Argo Tracker, Cogent Communications, and now Vigilistics. I have, over the last 10 years at least, been taking startups to maturity and either taking them into a public event like a IPO or going through a strategic acquisition. I've done business across the United States, everything from the East Coast, Boston, Washington, D.C., through California, and also international, primarily within Latin America, Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, and Chile. Industrial engineers and manufacturing engineers do a lot of different functions within Vigilistics. They primarily focus on the implementation side with our customers, working with our customers, doing process maps, data maps. We also have some that work within the product design group, helping try to determine what the next evolution of the software package should look like. But generally speaking, we use IEs across the board, from product development through implementation and post-implementation support. I think the biggest thing about industrial engineers is in their approach to solving problems. They take a problem, they come up with a thesis to solve that problem, they test against that thesis, and then ultimately implement the solution that seems to work the best. That's what's intrigued me the most about industrial engineers, is their framework, their scientific methodology in which they go through to logically solve problems. Well, I think the biggest advantage that Cal Poly engineers have, quite frankly, is the learn-by-doing philosophy that Cal Poly has. What that means to me as a business person, particularly within the management side of it, is that I can bring on an engineer and they are able to be inserted into that position and show immediate results. So I don't have to go through the 12 to 18-month learning curve with a new engineer from Cal Poly like I would with a new engineer from someplace else. The main reasons that we recruit for industrial and manufacturing engineers is for the reasons that I've stated before, that they have a very logical approach to problem solving. Now, the reasons that we recruit specifically from Cal Poly are really threefold. The first being the level of talent that we get from Cal Poly graduates. And this could be probably attributed the most to the fact that Cal Poly is very selective in their recruiting process and in their acceptance process. So right out of the gate, we get to play off of that in the fact that we get the best and the brightest coming out of Cal Poly, because they only accept the best and the brightest into Cal Poly. The second reason, as I've stated before, is Cal Poly's learn by doing. So it, in essence, ramps up or speeds up the time for a new engineer to have an impact on my organization. So instead of going through that 12 to 18-month learning curve, I can insert a Cal Poly graduate very quickly into the process. The last reason relates to the Cal Poly curriculum specifically for industrial and manufacturing engineers, in that they have a business focus to the engineering program. So in essence, I'm not only getting a strongly technical engineer, I'm also getting somebody that has business savvy and thus has very strong project management skills. Well, I think there's always going to be opportunities for industrial and manufacturing engineers within the software industry, specifically within the business applications or manufacturing application software environment. You know, the people that actually design the products that end up being the business applications of tomorrow are those that are involved with the manufacturing industries and understand the problems that these companies run into. So those are industrial engineers. So those are the types of people that are going to continue to develop products that I see on a regular basis. Specifically within my company, I think that there's always going to be different opportunities for industrial engineers, primarily because of their analytical approach and their change management approach and also their business savvy. So we use industrial engineers across the board from entry-level analytics positions up through senior management. And I think that those types of positions will always be available and will always be strongly filled with industrial engineers.